This disc review is brought to you by the Disc Golf Depot, largest selection and best prices in the Pacific Northwest. Check out discgolfdepot.com for more information. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my review of the Innova Star Tern. It's a high-speed distance driver from Innova. Great disc, had a lot of fun throwing it. I've been wanting to test and review one of these for a while now, and thanks to the Disc Golf Depot, I am finally able to do so. So big thank you to the Disc Golf Depot. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon area, you definitely owe it to yourself to go check out the depot. They just have amazing amount of plastic in there and just great prices. And then if you guys are not in the Portland area and you're looking for some new plastic, check out their website. Give them a call. If they have it in stock, they can take your order over the phone, and they can ship you anything that they have. So let's take a closer look at this guy. I always really like the way Star discs look. It's just like a clean look, nothing extra on there. I like the lettering that they go with. I like this design over here. It's just really nice, clean look. I've always liked that for sure. So Innova Star Tern, there's your flight numbers. As far as I know, the flight numbers will vary depending on the plastic type for this particular mold. But this one being a star, you got 12, 6, -3, and 2. I believe some of the other plastic types have like a lot more, have like a -4 or something like that in the Tern category. This particular one, I feel like it's probably a little bit closer to -2 or something like that. It doesn't have as much turn as you'd think based on the numbers. We'll go into that a little bit later with flight when we talk about the flight numbers. Star plastic, as always, feels really nice. It's hard to go wrong with Star plastic. This one has a great feel to it. It's pretty flexible, as you can see, but not to the point where it feels floppy or anything like that. It just has a really nice give under the thumb. It depresses nicely. It gets you that nice secure feel to it. On a hot day, it feels nice too. Your thumb will dig in a little bit more when it gets a little bit softer, even with that heat. And I like this Star plastic quite a bit. It's 169 grams as notified there. Let's take a look at the rim design on this guy. So you got that like 12-speed rim design, which I think 12-speed is about perfect for a distance disc. It's fast enough to fly far and get you good distance, but it also doesn't want to fade too much when it slows down, and it also is just really controllable. I think 12 speed is about perfect, and I have the best results out of 12 speed over 13 and 14. The interesting thing that I noticed about this disc, I'm trying to get to come into view here for you guys. See that little shadow, and like there's like a little bump on the rim, on the underside of this rim, so you can kind of see it from the middle of the rim out towards the edge. It kind of like bumps upwards. I'm hoping that's coming up in view, but you can kind of see that shadow there, right there in the middle of the rim. That's kind of showing it to you. It's kind of difficult to see, but I think you guys are getting it. I thought that was interesting. I've never really I can't think of any other discs that have that kind of a shape to them. The principal test partner for this disc was my Lucid Trespass, also 170 grams, basically very similar. This one's been thrown quite a bit though, but not really beat up very much. The Lucid plastic's very tough. So yeah, these were the two that I threw together most often. Let's take a look at them side by side. As far as the rim profiles, relatively similar in design as well. They feel pretty similar in the hand with that similar rim. I would say the Tern's a little bit lower profile. It's a little bit sharper overall, plus that little ridge that we talked about there. Let's talk about the flight of this disc. Now you guys know out there, well you might not, but a lot of people know that Innova is not really known to be super consistent. There's usually definitely some differences from disc to disc, and all companies are like this, but I feel like Innova maybe a little bit less consistent than some of the other brands out there. The only reason I'm mentioning that in this review is I don't think this particular Tern is super typical from as far as the other ones you might find out there as far as its stability, because this one is pretty stable. You can pretty much throw it as hard as you want, and I didn't see very much chance of flipping it over accidentally whatsoever. I was putting everything I had on this disc, and I definitely did not flip it over. I was getting it to fly very, very straight. It would kind of pop up it would kind of pop up and ride nicely and carry for a long way. It's probably got the most glide of any Innova driver that I can think of that I've ever thrown. With that 6 for glide there, I think that's totally spot on. I think glides for a long way down the fairway, and just ends up being really accurate and controllable. Now, I would be interested to know if other plastic types, especially the ones that have different flight numbers than this, show differences in the flight characteristics. If you guys have some champion turns or anything that you're comfortable with, go ahead and leave us a comment and let me know. If they're significantly more understable than what I'm describing or anything like that. As you guys know, I don't have a huge arm, so that plays into this. But it really ended up flying very similar to my Lucid Trespass. We would pop up and ride, hold very straight up to speed, glide a good way, and then still have that little bit of fade at the end. I threw it a little bit in some tailwinds, and it flew very stable in the tailwind. It would land and take a big skip with the tailwind as well. So, yeah, really, I don't think this is typical as far as the stability of this disc. I think it's a little bit more stable than the average one you're going to find. But, as always, I can only really speak to the one that I tested. This particular one is a great distance disc. For me, it kind of feels like I can throw this kind of like somebody with a bigger arm can work a destroyer, where I can get it to pop up and ride and come back, and you can throw a lot of different accurate distance lines with it, have it be pretty consistent. With me, if I was going to throw a Star Destroyer, I feel like most of them would be a little bit more stable than I look for with my kind of throwing style, my kind of hyzer flip throwing style that I like to use. So, but for me, this particular Star Tern flies excellent. I really, really like it. The only reason it's not immediately in my bag after testing is because, like I said, it's very similar to my Trespass that I've been carrying for years. So I'm reluctant to add new molds, especially when they're similar to something that I already throw and I'm already comfortable with. That being said, Star Tern's a great disc. I would definitely recommend you guys get out there and check one out. And if you do so, let me know what you think about it. So thanks very much to the Disc Golf Depot again. And thank you so much to you guys for watching. And I'll check you guys soon. Bye.